Freaky deaky.
Freaky deaky.
Freaky
villain.
deaky. Do what now?
It's the Bill and Jessica show.
What's up, everybody? Good morning. It's going to be partly sunny today. Temps near 80.
All right, we have Bradley Constant, young actor. He's great. He plays young Dwayne Johnson in the hit series Young Rock on NBC every Tuesday night, and we go live to the hotline. Bradley Constant.
Hey.
Hey, good morning. Good morning. It's Bill and Jessica, Power 1017. How are you?
I'm good. Good morning. How are y'all?
Great, man. Thank you so much for checking in. We appreciate it. And, man, let me just start off by saying you're great.
You are. You really are.
You do a great job, with the show and everything else. I mean, you're definitely a natural, man.
Well, y'all are sweet. Thank you so much.
Absolutely. Of course, we're talking about Dwayne Johnson's hit comedy, Young Rock. You are young Dwayne Johnson,
Rock, yeah.
right? You're 15 years old in the show. How old are you in real life?
I'm 23 years old.
Yeah, how is it playing a 15-year-old, and how is it playing The Rock? Let's start off there.
Well, playing a 15-year-old is the most fun thing ever because, you just get to be goofy and silly and awkward and, nobody judges you for it.
Right.
But then getting to play Dwayne is really special because I was a big fan of his before, booking the show too. But I think it's really cool because I'm learning so many things about him that I didn't know before. So, when I got the scripts for this season, I was like, what? He's in Nashville? He's trying to sing country music? I'm like, what's going on?
Right.
And I think it's just, I never know where they're going to go with it. And he's a really great guy, too, and he makes me feel very comfortable with the role. He's a really kind individual and really fun. I'm really lucky to get to play him.
Now, were you like a fan of The Rock, like as in WWE, or were you a fan of The Rock, like strictly acting?
Both.
Okay.
I first watched in wrestling with my dad when I was little, and then big fan of his movies always.
You still keep up with wrestling?
Not super heavy. More so in the recent years since I've been on Young Rock.
Yeah.
Because it so much of it. I started watching. I'm 23. I was like 5 when I was watching in the early 2000s.
Yeah. Well, I was gonna say Peacock Network, $5. You can get the whole WWE Network. Watch the whole Attitude Era.
Exactly. Yeah. So nowadays, like I'm a lot more hip, like I was when I was little.
Right.
But especially with the show, it's so cool because I learned about all these characters. Like I used to interact with characters that were around, back in the 80s and before. So it's really cool to learn a lot more about the history. And that's given me a deeper appreciation for wrestling.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Did you have to spend in order to play The Rock? I mean, look, Dwayne Johnson is just such a huge figure. And, you're playing him like real life on the show. It's not like, it's just like a fictional character or whatever. Did you have to spend a lot of time with him?
Like try to study him and copy his manners?
Yeah, so that's kind of the unique thing is that, the age that I play him, we two awesome, wonderful actors that play him at different ages too. But for my age, I couldn't really Google or look up anything, or, I don't have really footage of what he was like, so I can't really, recreate anything.
Right.
And, when I first talked to him after I booked it, we talked a little bit about life and some similarities in our lives, things that we had growing up that we dealt with. And, most of it is me just kind of being myself and kind of just reading lines truthfully, just with as much heart as I can.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, that's what he is. He's a real human, and that's what makes the show really cool because, these are things you can all relate with. We can all relate with being this 15-year-old Dwayne because this wasn't the famous Dwayne. This was the kid that was awkward and the family that struggled and moved around a lot.
Right. No, absolutely.
So
and
really cool.
I love watching this kind of show, of somebody who, could be like your childhood hero, but you watch when they were you're not watching the celebrity. You're watching them, when they were just like you,
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm, exactly. Yeah, and it's been so surprising. Things like this even me reading the scripts and playing, I'm like, this was Dwayne. Dwayne, you did this?
Yeah.
You know?
Wow. Well, of course,
A
young
little nickname.
Young Rock airs Tuesdays, 8:00 on NBC. Give us a rundown about season 2, man. That's airing.
Okay, season 2 is okay. Well, with me, 15-year-old Dwayne has just been evicted. His family has just been evicted from Hawaii. So now Dad is searching for wrestling work in Tennessee, doing kind of the Memphis circuit and all that. And I'm sent to come crash with my dad, but he's like, I'm traveling. So I ended up crashing with a friend downtown Bruno, who is a legend himself within wrestling and a really awesome guy. And I'm skipping school, and I'm going down to all the bars and, listening to the country music and pretending that I'm a country singer. And there's a tough dynamic that really comes up in this week's episode also with Dwayne's parents. And we learn a lot about how they met and that struggle. But, Rocky isn't always telling the truth. He's stretching things a little bit, and it hurts Dwayne a lot this week. And I think that was a really big focal point with Dwayne this season as a 15-year-old. It really focuses on the growing pains with him and his dad, and how his mom has really always been there for him, been just the sweetest, kindest Mama Rock.
Nice. Now, of course, again, every Tuesday, 8:00 on NBC. It's Dwayne Johnson's hit comedy Young Rock. We're talking with Bradley Constant, who plays, Dwayne Johnson, 15-year-old. Did you ever like country music? Are you a fan before you played The Rock, or what kind of music do you like for real, like in real life?
Yeah. You know what? I like anything that sounds good.
Yeah.
Has a good beat.
I like country music, too.
Okay.
I grew up in Alabama, so believe me, I heard it everywhere.
Nice.
Growing up when I was little. My dad was a fan, too. So, yeah, I love some good country music.
Very good. It is Dwayne. One last one, real quick. Is Dwayne Johnson? Is he like on set? How often do you see him when you guys are filming?
When we're filming, due to the pandemic, we were going to shoot in Los Angeles, but this was mid 2020 when we were getting the show going.
Right.
So they sent us over to Australia.
Oh.
And our crew, our cast, we shoot the show kind of in half. Half of it shoots in Atlanta in a closed set, and half of us shoot in Australia. So we haven't gotten to shoot, and obviously my scenes don't involve Dwayne.
Right.
We haven't shot a lot together in scenes, but he's always been there and supportive, and he's really sweet.
Very good, very good. Bradley Constant, he plays a young Dwayne Johnson in the hit comedy Young Rock every Tuesday, 8:00 on NBC. Bradley, if people want to follow you on social media, how can they do that?
They can follow me at Bradley Constant on Instagram or Twitter.
Very good.
Nice.
Hey, appreciate you so much for checking in, man. You have a great day, and good luck with the show.
Thank you.
Of course. Y'all have a good morning. Thank you for having me.
Contact us right now, The Bill and Jessica Show on the